Hey, welcome back to the Fit to Survive channel. So we have a new interesting thing here to be reviewing today. This is the Kadet Pro from TSPROF. This is basically a sharpening system. As you can see right here, by the Russian letters, you can tell this has been made in Russia. And so it's already kind of interesting. A lot of times you'll see sharpening systems like this we've made like in China or other places. And so kind of unique to have something that's made in Russia. Maybe not the best timing right now for something like that, but anyway, still pretty cool. All right, so real quick, I'll show you what comes in the box, and then I'm going to show you the assembly. So first of all, of course, you have the user manual. It's both in Russian and in English. Then you have basically the components of this. And so I'll go ahead and pull these out, and I'll start showing the assembly. It's fairly simple to assemble. Nothing actually really that complicated, especially since it has a user manual. I mean, if you're not up to the challenge of figuring it out yourself. All right, so pull all these out, and then I'll just put the box to the side once we do that. All right, so that is everything that this comes with in the box, of course, other than, again, the user manual. And I've changed the angle of the camera just to let you guys see what we're doing a bit better. All right, so we'll start with the stand for the assembly. And so basically this just snaps open right there. And then to close it, there's this button that you press. You see that snaps back down. And now to make sure that doesn't happen while you're working on your knife, right here, you tighten this over to the side that shows the lock, and then that button does nothing. All right, once we've done that, then we just need to attach this arm up top, which is what we're gonna use to adjust the angle on the blade. So that just slides down right here. Make sure that's open. Right, just like that. And then now this silver knob, now this is going to basically adjust the height. So basically you just twist this and it goes up or down. And then that's also, like I said, going to control the angle of the blade. So there you can see that's a drawing of a scalpel. There's some different blades. And so it goes from 8 degrees up to 27 degrees, depending on what kind of blade you're sharpening. You know, like a fillet knife, you're going to want a lower degree, like an 8 degree. Whereas something like an axe or anything that's going to be like more like chopping or something that you're not concerned about it getting dull real quick. Of course, you don't want it down on a higher degree, like maybe 20, 22 or something like that. All right, then we'll use this. This is basically a swivel. And this just goes right in here. Just like that. Push that down, tighten this into place. That's gonna hold the rod that we're gonna use for sharpening. All right, then we'll go ahead and we'll assemble that rod. So it comes in 2 pieces. You basically just connect these together. That in the middle, tighten that down, and then this just goes right into that swivel right there. Now this is basically a stand. It snaps onto here to hold your abrasive plate in place while you're doing whatever you want to do, and you can actually twist it off to the side like that, also it's not in your way. All right, then this also goes on the back of this rod, and that's to make sure that whenever you're sharpening your knife that you don't accidentally pull this all the way out. So I'll just spin that around. Hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, right there. So it has this rubber seal that goes on there first to make sure you're not beating the metal against the metal. And then this just goes on and you tighten that down. So it's actually really simple to assemble. Of course, this also is, you have this in the instructions in the user manual so you know how to do it. But that's the boring way, right? All right, then the last thing we need to attach, this is what holds your blade into place, and that just goes right here. So we'll unscrew these. Slide this on, then tighten that down. And now then, the cool thing about these is that they go, you can basically adjust these depending on the size of the knife if you want wider or narrower. Or also, you can have just the one if you're going to be using like a knife that is really short. I'll show you that here in just a second. All right, so that are those two set up like that. Now, like I said, these are adjustable. And so, for example, if you wanted to do like a kitchen knife, which by the way, this is a really cool knife here from Robbie. Basically, you can have this on the 2. Let's get this back a bit. You know, 2, basically, you can adjust it to where you have a good grip on the knife, like right here. Whereas if you're using something smaller, let's say like this custom knife that I built, so Victorinox Hunter Pro with a Spyderco Manix 2 blade in it, then basically what you do is you just loosen this up, scoot these closer to each other, just like that, and then basically you can attach your knife that way. And if you end up using something even smaller than that, like for example, today we're gonna be sharpening up this pocket knife from Kubi. then you can see even like that, you could do that, but it's kind of, this one's not really holding onto anything. So we'll probably just end up removing one of these and then just using the one to clamp onto the knife. Now they do recommend using some masking tape because there's nothing on the inside of these clamps. And so you want to put some masking tape so you're not scratching up your knife or anything like that. All right, and then another thing is once you set your angle, now like I mentioned, you can set your angle right here by adjusting this on the back. Once you set your angle, to get the exact same angle on both sides, it's really convenient because all you have to do is you have to basically just place kind of out of there. All right, all you have to do is basically just lift this lever, you spin it over, and then basically that flips your knife to the opposite side. That way you have the exact same angle on both sides of your knife. All right, then the last thing we're going to look at as far as for assembly and so on are going to be the sharpening plates. So these are the abrasive plates. And what this is, they have a 150 grit all the way up to 1000, so 220, 400, 600. These are diamond plates. You don't have to use water or oil on them. If you do use water, it kind of helps keep them cleaner, makes it easier to keep them clean and don't have to worry about it getting kind of like cruded up with your metal files and so on. All right, so this is the extra coarse, this is the 150. You see diamond there. And so of course you can see this is nice and coarse, and then the highest grit they have here is going to be 1000, and this will be the fine, so your finishing basically set. So another really great thing that they did that I really like, because this is a Russian-made, like I said, sharpening system, and so they have set this up. You see right here, this section I'm moving. We got to move it like this maybe. This section right here is where you actually place those sharpening plates. And so I would be concerned, since this is Russian made, that, if something happens, what if I cannot access any more of these plates, like replacements, because these are not like permanent. And then, so the cool thing is that what they've done is they've made this where it's universal. So you see that basically all it does is just holds in place by the spring. So if you want to replace this with a different company's abrasive plates, you'll see right here, there's a small little Allen wrench, or sorry, a little torque screw there, whatever. So you can loosen that up and you can adjust this length so that it basically accepts just about any abrasive plate that you can find in the market. And so that's really cool, advantageous that you can do that, and you don't have to worry about not being able to find replacement plates for it. All right, so we're going to go ahead, like I said now, and we'll sharpen up a knife. We're going to be sharpening up this Kubi pocket knife. And so it's a knife I've carried quite a bit. And so kind of just as a sharpness demonstration, you can see that it just barely cuts the sponge there. And so we're going to be sharpening this up, and then I'll show you guys the result of that. All right, now we have the angle set. I basically just need to tighten this down. And we are going to use a little bit of water, like I said before. This just kind of helps keep the diamond plate a bit cleaner as we work with it. All right, just want to make sure we do some really light strokes like that. And they recommend doing one side until you get a bird that starts to form on the opposite side. So every once in a while you want to feel the bottom, see if you're getting a bird down there. All right, just like that. And then to do the next side, what we do is we flip this around. These are on the way. And then repeat the exact same thing on this side. Right, so that was each of those settings. Basically the medium, the fine, and then the very fine. And so theoretically this should be done as long as we had the angle correct on this. All right, we'll remove this masking tape. right, and let's do the exact same test with the, all right, as you can see, that did a really good job for sharpening that up. All right, so basically that's it. And again, you can set this on different settings for the angle. I tried to find the original sharpness, the original angle that this blade came with. You can see we did not do any scratching to that with the masking tape on. So that's great. So basically, if you wanted to make this like more like a razor sharp, of course, you'd have to start with a more coarse plate to make sure that you got the angle set. Then you got it nice and sharp at that angle. But anyways, at this, which I think I had this set right about at a 23 degrees. I think is what that set at. And so nice and sharp for a knife you're gonna be using quite often. You want an angle kind of like that, you know, a super sharp angle, super sharp edge, should I say, is not gonna hold up as well as, you know, one that's not quite as high of an angle, basically. All right, so this sharpening set, as it is right now with these 5 sharpening, these abrasive plates, this costs $560 on Amazon, which is pretty expensive, especially since on their website it costs $386. I checked just before I recorded this video. And plus, I spoke to the guy who sent this to me for the review, and I mentioned that it's pretty expensive, and he basically explained the reason for the high price is simply because of their method of production. He claims that they have high, or should I say little tolerances, I guess what they call it, CNC build, and so on and so on. But anyways, he did provide a discount for my subscribers. And so that is Fit to Survive 5. I'll put that on the screen and the description of the video. And you can use that on their website. It won't work on Amazon. And so on their website, that brings us down to like $360 some odd on their website. So anyways, let me know what you think about this sharpening system. If it's something that you could see yourself using. If you like don't mind this being Russian made. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this. If you're interested, be sure to check out those links, and don't forget to take advantage of that 5% off discount code. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.